You got my email about Formal Fridays then?
Aren't you funny? Aren't you a funny boy?
I love this. This is lovely. This is so nice.
It's school photo day. We've got a photographer coming in later to get photos of us all for the website and for the 8x10s and all of the...
It's a nice material.
Yeah, it was raining on the way in, so...
I like that.
Yeah, thanks very much.
You're lovely. Oh,
Thanks.
we should do like this all the time.
No, we shouldn't.
Like BBC continuity announcers.
You look like Andrew Lloyd Webber, mate.
News. WWE NXT Superstar has been released from the company. Ring of Honor are releasing the ROH Women's Champion. And NXT have beaten AEW for the first time in the Wednesday night ratings. We'll get to that soon. What's next for Albert Hardy Jr., formerly known as Jordan Miles, now known as ACH? He's back on the indie circuit, Adam.
That's right. Don't forget the super, bitch.
Oh, sorry.
That's right, it was reported last night by Ryan Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheet and WWE Backstage, hello Ryan, that ACH has been released from his WWE contract. This has been followed up by ACH himself on Twitter, where he's released a picture of him signing some sort of documentation. It might be a contract for an upcoming appearance, a booking, it might be a new promotion, who knows?
I like to think it's his water bill. Like he's paying by a check and he's just signing it off.
Thames Water, bitches.
Don't forget the super bitches.
We have his first indie date, which has been announced by ACH himself for heavy metal wrestling, and it's ACH versus Chandler Hopkins, who I'm unfamiliar with.
And he's also been announced for the Wrestling Revolver's Night After Christmas.
I bloody love wrestling Christmas names.
Oh, aren't they brilliant?
Why not Fight After Christmas? Season Beatings.
Oh, we've missed. There's some brilliant ones, isn't there?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of. If you're a wrestling company and you're running a show around Christmas, please comment below what you've called your Christmas show.
I look forward to Vince.
December to December.
TLC actually.
Yes, ACH is well. I think it's sad that it went down this way, and I think that we've talked a lot about. The situation over the last few months with him, but if hitting the independent circuit is what's going to make Albert Hardy Jr. happy, he's ready to do his thing once again. I'm happy for him. If this is what he wants and this is the way he's going, then this is awesome news.
I agree, although I didn't agree with a lot of the comments that he put on Twitter, and I don't think they endeared him to a lot of people. I hope he's well, because he's admitted to suffering with depression, suffering with anxiety. And some of the stuff that he was releasing, maybe on his social media, indicated that he wasn't in the best place. So yeah, I hope he's well, and I hope he goes on to be happy. Of course, as everyone should be.
Onwards and upwards, Super ACH. It's a bit like with the Super Nintendo. That's the crack, isn't it?
Yeah.
Where it's like you put Super at the end of games.
Super Hyper ACH coming soon.
Oh,
64.
The reigning Women of Honor champion Kelly Klein in the news today, but not for the best of reasons, Adam.
No, not at all. Kelly Klein has indeed left Ring of Honor. She confirmed this news last night on her Twitter page. This comes following her interacting and retweeting various tweets put out by Joey Mercury after he left Ring of Honor recently, displaying his frustrations with the company, and she retweeted and commented on those.
Yes, yeah, that was a big crux of the email that was sent to her. BJ Whitmer, her husband, talked about this and said that she was indeed fired via email, which seems like a bit of a...
And she wasn't especially well, right? She was post-concussion, or still suffering the effects of a concussion?
Yeah, that's it. Post-concussion syndrome, and then to be found out via email. Now, we want to make this clear, and Ring of Honor were keen to make this clear as well, that she hasn't been fired, they're just not renewing her contract. Her contract runs out at the end of December, so it's not like you're giving her a big old run of it. But with all this, so the big crux of the issue is that they're upset, in particular Joe Coffey's upset, the COO of Ring of Honor, that Kelly Klein gave a platform to Joey Mercury, as you said, and there was talks of Kelly Klein sharing emails and documents with other people as well, which haven't endeared Greg Gilliland, another major part of ROH, particularly well. The interesting thing about this is today in Baltimore, Maryland, there is a sort of town hall meeting for Ring of Honor happening, where the original plan was going to be that the execs were going to be there and everybody was going to pitch ideas around for, how we can advance Ring of Honor into the new year. I kind of don't feel like that's going to be the topic of discussion.
No, absolutely
at the moment,
not.
After this, plus all the stuff that's been happening with Joey Mercury on Twitter. If you haven't checked out Joey Mercury's Twitter, do so, because there's a lot on there, and it may take you a couple of times to read it through, because he is throwing a lot of information about what goes on behind the scenes at Ring of Honor, and not all of it is good. It talks like a lack of due diligence for injured stars and just a general mistreatment of people.
I don't think they're in the best place at the moment, Ring of Honor. My understanding is that both Kelly and Joey were very, very liked by the talent, so this has got to be really, really damaging for morale. Speaking Kelly, I think, is so talented. I don't think she's going to struggle to find work elsewhere, put it that way. Have they said what they're going to do about the title situation yet?
No, as far as we know, Kelly Klein's still the Ring of Honor Women of Honor champion, and presumably they'll take the belt off her, they'll do something. I can't see Kelly Klein wanting to go back after all this. Obviously, she's there till the end of the year.
Let the contract run out and not wrestle again, not drop the title, just vacate it, I guess.
And it is devastating. The Gatekeeper is very much the cornerstone of that Women of Honor division. I think a lot of the matches in that division that stood out to me have involved Kelly Klein, and that is not a coincidence. She is phenomenal. Frozen 2 is out today, so it seems pertinent for me to say, for the first time in forever, NXT has defeated AEW on Wednesday night.
It's a marathon, right? It's
a marathon, not a Snickers.
No. Oh, very good. Very good. Dated. This is really great for NXT. This obviously follows the WWE invasion of NXT and the NXT invasion of WWE. You know what I'm talking about. So the figures are as follows. NXT averaging 916,000 viewers. AEW Dynamite 893. It's tight still. It's very, very tight. And there's an interesting bit to mention here. The core demographic that WWE wants to appeal to.
18 to 49.
Yes, the younger people, they're still not doing a great job of getting to. A lot of these viewers are from 50 plus, which is surprising.
Yeah, because I'd have thought it'd been the other way around, whereas AEW has a lot of the names from off of the past. You would surely get older wrestling fans coming to there, but as opposed to that, the older wrestling fans are watching NXT.
That's the only demo that they beat AEW in. Apart from, I guess, the overall.
Obviously, the overall.
Which is worth mentioning. You know, they're throwing everything at this at the moment. Survivor Series, I think, is shaping up to be great. And I think both shows, NXT and Dynamite, are terrific. I really, really enjoy Wednesday nights or Thursday mornings when I get around to watching them. But can WWE continue this after Survivor Series? I think it's great. They've got potential to put a whole lot of new eyes on that product, especially as we were talking about yesterday with Cole versus whoever wins the triple threat. NXT, I hope they come out looking good. I hope they win some of the Survivor Series matches. I'll be interested to see where we're at next week.
Well, from next week, Triple H said this on the conference call after NXT the other night, that the brands are going to be they're going to be re-established, which means like there's no going to be jumping around, no more silly buggers like that.
Oh, I bloody love the wild card rule. Bring that back. That was good. We're the authority. Give us the wild card. You said it.
So it means that we're going to have just NXT guys on NXT now. So hopefully there's been enough exposure throughout this time, because that was the big thing. We mentioned this a few weeks back. The big thing was that these guys weren't names like the AEW guys are names, and that's true. And that's not me being a disrespectful goose to Tommaso Ciampa, who I think is phenomenal. But when you compare him in terms of like brand value to a Chris Jericho, like there's a stronger brand value to Chris Jericho, and that's again not me being a disrespectful goose. That's just how it is. So we're hoping that this whole run will have bolstered that a little bit more.
I think we're going to see one more main roster guy on Sunday go over to NXT.
Big Kev?
Possibly Kev, possibly Rollins. I think they could save Rollins. Yeah, I know that's a big shout, but I think if it's anyone, it'll be him. He can go down there, have sort of higher work rate matches. Not that he's ever like lazy on the main roster or anything, but it's a promotion that I think, or it's a brand that lends itself to the style that Rollins wrestles. His character's messed up at the moment.
He got booed out of the building at Full Sail though, which I thought was apart from a little chant to burn it down.
Turn him heel. There was when he was doing the sweet chin, burn it.
Boon it down. Boon it down. That was one of my favourite moments from NXT.
I'll be interested. This is the Survivor Series. I'm not a big fan of the Survivor Series pay-per-view. I think the sort of concept of the Survivor Series match very often is quite dated. Like, throw all the baby faces together, throw all the heels together. It's like, it doesn't really do much for me. But this time, it's really special. Do you not think?
Yeah, no. I was going to say,
that's why they only have one or two a year.
I love that it's 5 on 5 on 5. Like we did 9 pitches for it, and you can watch it on the YouTube channel right now. One of the mini pitches.
I tried to wink there, and my eye closed up.
Oh man!
Carry on.
One of the sort of bijou pitches that I pitched, it wasn't a real pitch, it wasn't enough to quantify as a pitch, was that I think somebody's going to fall off the apron. Because there's so many people around the sides. Somebody's going to fall off the apron.
What was the Survivor Series that they did it with the tag teams? There were 20 of them. Nobody fell there.
The first Survivor Series team.
B. Brian Blair didn't topple it, did he?
It's true, but they were workhorses back then.
Yeah, you lazy bastards.
Not like these snowflakes these days. Have a lovely day. Hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a comment in the comment section down below. You can support us on Patreon by going to patreon.com/Cultaholic. Lastly, don't forget to hit subscribe and join us.